Just 2 championship stages remain, with 2 championship contenders who are separated by just 2 championship points. Which way will the penny fall? Berlin Eagles or Stockholm Hearts? We'll find out by the end of the weekend, although the title does look destined to only be decided once again on the final day. Which team will leave Governor's Island with the advantage? Let's head to stage 14 of the Global Champions League to find out. We are obviously talking about a lot more than just a handful of pennies when it comes to the Global Champions League. But the big discussion is just how have we even reached the point at one stage where Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M, were 30 points clear on the championship standings. Fredrik de Backer and I sat in this very studio. We practically had champagne under the desk on ice for the team. They were regarded as the champions-elect. Yet somehow down the line, down the stages, the Berlin Eagles, powered by Fundis Reisport, have continued to chip away slowly but surely, aggressively at times as well. But they have put together a handful of incredibly strong performances that have now put them in the position to hold on to the championship lead with just 2 stages remaining. They most likely will not win it today, nor will the Stockholm Hearts. It is going to go down to Riyadh in the Global Champions League final. But today, this weekend, will have a massive, massive bearing on how the 15th and final stage will play out. Let's remind you just how exactly the Berlin Eagles have worked their way down from a 30-point deficit to now a championship lead.
Stockholm Hearts with Lily Atwoods on Calvados up to date. And another one that puts the team on 8. Very good situation for the Berlin Eagles to close the gap. And it's, it's all the way going the wrong side. This is an important run for the Berlin Eagles. There's fence 12, leads it, standing double clear and really fast. 150.21 seconds. The Eagles win again. Just 7 points the difference of Stockholm Hearts on Berlin Eagles. Here comes Weishaupt for a very important double clear. He has got that double clear. It is also the fastest combined time of all teams. There's the virtual ranking on the right. 138.24 is to beat. She's not going to make it, or is she? 138.42. That's what's going to come down to. She adds for the last and she's slower. Berlin Eagles win again. Just 2 points between the Hearts and the Eagles.
What will the lead look like after today, and whose lead will it be? Now it is over to Ludger Bierbaum and Christian Koekkoek. Goes to the last, jumps it. Brilliant start for the Berlin Eagles, just what they needed. And he's jumped the last. The Berlin Eagles have done all they can. They've jumped the clear. And she's phoned the last, and that's why she's on the team today. Clear with Malin Bayer-Johnsen. Clear round today guarantees that they're going to extend that 2-point advantage and keep themselves at the top of the table. But the fence has gone, now the clock becomes imperative. Trouble for the Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M We Love Horses. Is it enough? No, it's not quite. They have got to the top, the Berlin Eagles. It is a 2-point reversal.
We are super happy, and coming from 11th yesterday to 2nd today, that was quite amazing. We are 2 points ahead now of Stockholm in the overall with 2 legs left, so fingers crossed. I think we should enjoy the moment, even though we know it's not over yet.
Enjoying the moment, even though we know it is not over yet. There are still 2 stages to jump, 4 rounds still to jump for both of those championship deciding teams. And a lot can go right and a lot can go wrong for them over the next couple of rounds. So there will be absolutely no room for error. They cannot allow either of those 2 opponents to get away from them, because then all of a sudden they might not just go on to lose a stage, but it could well be a championship loss as well. Now, the London Knights have been a big talking point as well. Successful in Rome, their first win of the 2022 Global Champions League season. And with that victory, jumping and catapulting themselves right into the Global Champions League GCL Super Cup semi-final conversation. Sam Hudson has been a sensation for the London Knights and has been in great form and holds a wonderful record with the team, jumping very well in Rome. Mike Kawhi supporting him outstandingly well. He now putting together a good performance as well. And the London Knights, a memorable performance in Rome. And as we said, it brings them into the conversation now as they find themselves just a handful of points behind the Prague Lions, who are looking to try and hold on to a top 4 place. They were unable to get into the Super Cup semi-finals last year ahead of their home playoffs. Can they do it this year? This is how the table looks. The big news out of Rome, as we mentioned, the Berlin Eagles moving top in a 2-point swing as Stockholm dropped down to second. Falkensvart United dropping, Rome Gladiators dropping, and London Knights with a big climb. Now, Madrid Emotion stay where they are. New York Empire, the hosts this weekend. We'll hear more from them in a few moments' time as they climbed at the end of Rome, and the Scandinavian Vikings making a climb as well. We often talk about incredible stages on the Global Champions League, but I wonder just how many stages can boast a ferry that takes you to an island to get ready for Global Champions League action. The Staten Island ferry there going across the Statue of Liberty as we get ready for stage 14 of the Global Champions League. A personal ferry, perhaps, for the riders and for the fans standing by. Now, no Frederik de Backer in New York. He's missing out on all of the action. However, Mariska Kuiper is standing by for us once again this weekend. Mariska, how is New York treating you? The city that never sleeps. I hope that you are settling in well.
Well, Mark, New York is pretty good so far. I must say, I really like the New York vibe, the New York energy. And you also feel the energy when you're around the riders. Or maybe they are too excited to finally being back on the island. Let's go back to 2019. It was a win for London Knights. And ironically, it was Ben Mayer featuring on that team. So let's see if the Knights can hold on to the good track record they have here. Of course, all the attention goes to Berlin Eagles and Stockholm Hearts. There's no Ludger Beerbaum and no Christian Koekkoek for the Eagles, but they have Weishaupt and Owen McMahon here. Let's see if they can handle the pressure. For Stockholm Hearts, we have here Petter Fredriksson and also Lily Keenan and Marlin Bayer-Johnson. The last one wasn't meant to jump here, but with only 2 points separating the teams, they are looking for all the experience they have. So, Mark, let's see how everything will play out for the first round of GCL here in New York.
All right, thank you very much, Mariska. I hope you're enjoying some New York cuisine as well as we get ready for Global Champions League Round 1 coming up in a few moments' time. The weather, though, I think we need to talk about that a little bit later on. I see the wind and the hair of Mariska blowing all over the show. I wonder if that might have an effect on the riders and the horses later on today. It looks picturesque on picture, but I think that the sailboats there might be an indicator as well. The wind seems to be pumping at full steam ahead in New York this weekend. We'll find out how that might go on to impact the riders. Now, speaking of the Berlin Eagles, Owen McMahon caught up with GCTV and gave us an indication as to whether or not the pressure is truly on for these final 2 stages.
Obviously, there's just 2 rounds left, and it's very tight at the top, so a bit of tension and anticipation and so on. But yeah, let's see how it goes.
What did you spoke on forehand with Ludger Beerbaum, the team? How was the preparation?
Nothing special, you know yourself. It's a simple sport. The less poles you have down, the better chance you have to win. So we think we're in a good shape, and hopefully it goes well. Today, it's just important to try and finish on 0, and then it gets maybe a little bit more technical tomorrow. But today, we just need to think about ourselves and try and be clear.
There we see the wonderful hair of Owen McMahon as well, proving once again the weather might well be a factor today. The course walk officially underway in New York as we get ready for Global Champions League Round 1. As the riders, is that Marlin Bayer-Johnsen, I think, that just walked off to the left. getting ready to perform for the Stockholm Hearts powered by H&M. There is McMahon. There is a NY beanie as well. I couldn't see who was wearing the New York beanie, but the riders perhaps getting ready for the weekend, getting ready for the action, and they will now continue to mark their strides. An interesting fact around Malin Baard-Jonsson, in case you don't know, she was not originally planned to jump in New York, yet a late call being made by the Stockholm Hearts powered by H&M has now brought her into the team as reinforcements, because they know how important the stage is. They know that they have to keep the Berlin Eagles behind them, and originally there was not going to be a Malin Baard-Jonsson this weekend. She does not jump in round one. Lily Keenan and Peter Fredriksson, by the way, are jumping for the Stockholm Hearts in the opening round. They are the second team to come out the gate. Speaking of Lily Keenan, we caught up with her to find out what it's like to be jumping in New York.
I'm excited to be jumping in my hometown in New York City and have my family here. It's a bit of a windy day, so I think that will definitely pose a challenge for plenty of the horses. Hopefully it's an advantage for mine because he's a steady Eddie, but yeah, we're happy to be here and excited to get going. The arena actually is bigger than I had imagined it to be for New York City, so yeah, I think it's going to be hard jumping, as it should be for any of the Global Champions Tour, and I think that we're going to see some eventful rounds, some very good, and I think some of the horses will struggle a bit, but I'm feeling confident with my horse today. The team is feeling under pressure, I would say. We are really eager to get back on top. So we're lucky. Our team spirit is unbelievable. I'm going to be jumping with the team today, and then tomorrow Malin will take my spot. Peter will jump both days, so we're trying to really spurt it out and put our best foot forward, and fingers crossed, but we're feeling good. Every show, I must say, all of the riders really try to do their best for the team and really bring their best horses. So I would say, obviously, to deal with the pressure, this is our sport and this is our job. So that's every day for us at this point. I think that, to be on a team with really strong riders helps. And I mean, our strategy is to jump clear rounds.
Are you feeling the pressure yourself?
I mean, yeah, but that's a good thing, right? If I wasn't feeling the pressure, I shouldn't be here. So ready to go.
The New York local back in her hometown, getting ready for Global Champions League. There we see Spencer Smith for the New York Empire, the home team, hoping to put on a really good show this weekend as well. They once again have been underwhelming, unfortunately, in their performances. Can they perhaps surprise many and put in a really solid performance this weekend? Can they go on to win their home stage? Wouldn't that be a defining moment for the New York Empire? We will find out. We will hear from Spencer Smith in a few moments' time. A reminder of then who is coming out for New York Empire. He, alongside Dennis Lynch, will be the 13th team to come out, Theodore and Brooklyn Heights. Once again featuring for New York Empire. Can they put on a really strong performance? Can they then go on and shock all these big teams and go on and take out the local points and go into a pole position for Global Champions League Round 2? Let's hear from the American. Let's hear from the New York Empire man, Spencer Smith.
Well, obviously, we're the New York team. Georgina's here. She's our team captain, and her whole family is from here, obviously. So they're very big in New York, so it's big for them, big for us. And this is amazing. We're in the middle of one of the biggest cities in the world, for sure the most important city in the world. And we're on a beautiful island with grass and basically a farm in the middle of the city, so it's beautiful. The thing I like most about New York, I think, is probably the people. I think they're really resilient people, really strong people. They've gone through a lot, and they're very, very positive and keep going, keep building. The city itself is amazing. There's nothing in the world like it. To see it is incredible, the buildings, and just shows American mindset, actually, how it's built. It's really cool. Obviously, we're going to jump here in front of the Statue of Liberty, so we can check that one off. And I'd like to go to the 9/11 Memorial. I'm planning to do that tomorrow. I think that's probably the most important thing you can do here in New York. Everyone should go see it, and it's pretty amazing. I think the New York Empire's season has been spotty for a lot of reasons. A lot of things just didn't quite work out exactly how we hoped to. I think we have some of the best riders and horses in the world, the best management, and we've been always good one day and one small mistake the next day, but the level is so high it keeps us out. So I think next year we need to really make a plan to not, get rid of those small mistakes. One rail costs us so much now, so we have to get rid of those. I have to say we have really good management. Everything is planned out from the beginning. We know where we're going. We know which horses we're taking. You couldn't call it lack of planning or anything. It just hasn't quite happened at the show. It has to be our day a little bit. We've just been on the edge always, and it's time for us to come through. And I think one win, and we'll be off to the races. I clean my boots a lot. It's good for the head, good for the image, mostly for the head. And we just try to organize things, make sure everything's really clean. I'm a bit funny about that, so it helps me. Stay focused. We're gonna really go for Prague. We're gonna try to win here. I think we will, to be honest. We're very motivated. We have really good horses here, and everyone's really been planning this for a while. So, yeah, this needs to come. Riyadh obviously is important, and then Prague. I think last year could have been our year, and I think this year definitely will. We have great horses for this venue. Horses that are suited to this. I'm riding a horse actually bred by Georgina. Its name is Manhattan, which is cool. It's a horse she's had a lot of success with. I've had a lot of success with. The few times I've shown him, he's always been good, and she always does well on him. So I'm gonna ride him this week, thanks to her. And that's a horse that I really think is gonna do something special here. He's bred in New York, he's named after New York, and he's gonna win here in New York.
Incredibly high in confidence is Spencer Smith, suggesting and telling GCTV that they have been planning for this New York event for quite some time, and they have put it down in their calendars as the event to go on and win. So the home team are eyeing out this weekend for a GCL victory. Spencer Smith and Dennis Lynch on Theodore and Brooklyn Heights believe that they can go on to win the Global Champions League Stage 14, but have also said that they are keeping an even special eye on the Prague playoffs later on this year. The higher they can get up in the table, the less jumping will be required. And whilst that ship may have sailed, there is nothing to say that the New York Empire members cannot go on to Prague and provide some massive surprises as well. But all of that will unplay, of course, later on this year. Here we see Spencer Smith, the tall, lanky American, making sure that he measures every single last moment, every single inch of that course. Daniel Deusser just slightly in front of him. He will be jumping for the Saint-Tropez Pirates today alongside Emerick Georges. We also were able to catch up with Niels Bruynseels, a man who won in Doha back in 2021. Can he go on to have bigger success this weekend as well? Not just from a Global Champions League perspective, but of course, with the LGCT Grand Prix still to come at the end of the weekend. We caught up with the Belgian. We caught up with the Prague Lion man. How is he feeling this weekend in New York?
New York, it's something special. It's on a great place with the super facilities, very good ring, nice big place. Yeah, it's nice.
Is it also distracting for the horses to be to jump on an island like this?
Yeah, I think so. But I think the horses that jumped in Miami, they are a little bit used to it, to the sea, to the water, the wind. There is a lot of wind today, but I have to say, in the warming up, the horses are quite confident, so it looks good.
So what can we expect from Prague Lions this weekend?
Yeah, like every show, we have to try to keep fighting to stay in the top 4. Again, this week it will be a little bit stressy, I think, but okay, we go for it. Horses are in a good shape. Let's go for it.
So why stressy?
Yeah, because there is a lot of talk about it, to stay in the top 4. Everybody wants to stay in the top 4 to save a round in Prague. And for us, it would be nice, to start already in the semi-final or in the quarter-final. I don't know exactly. But yeah, so as a Prague team member, it would be nice.
So we spoke about it last week last event in Rome. Prague Lions did actually a pretty good job staying in the top 4. London Knights you're 7 points ahead of London Knights. What's the approach this weekend for Prague Lions?
Yeah, like I said, like every show, we have to go for the clear. It's really simple, but it's not that simple. We are also with a few younger horses in the team because we are a little bit struggling with horsepower. So it will be not so easy, but yeah, okay, we are with a strong team of riders here, so we have to fight for it.
So if we look, to be honest, if we look at the lineups of Prague Lions, the last events, it was a little bit light. Do you know what I tried to say, or do you understand what I tried to say?
Yeah, I completely understand. We start in the first half of the season with our strongest horses, everybody. Then also Sergio had full horsepower, Brian had full horsepower, I had full horsepower, Peter, Anna, and everybody is a little bit struggling for the moment in the same time, so it's not the right moment.
Once again, discussion around the conditions, the wind, the distraction and the water around the arena from Niels Bruynseels, making it clear that some of the horses this weekend might find it a little bit difficult. There is Niels Bruynseels and Peter de Vos having a word with Annekel Narova. Both de Vos and Bruynseels will be jumping today. NASCAR and Matador will be the two horses that have been selected for the Prague Lions, and they will be the very last team to come out today for Global Champions League Round 1. They are the 16th and final team to come out. So it is a golden opportunity for them to perform. Now, before we wrap up and head to Global Champions League Round 1, let's give you an indication as to what it goes and what it takes to be a veterinarian in the Global Champions League. Now, we so often focus on the horses, focus on the riders. And in a new feature this year on GCTV, My Job in 60 Seconds, we caught up with veterinarian Francesco Tosto, who speaks to us about what it entails to be a vet for the Global Champions League.
My name is Francesco Tosto. I'm vet in the Global Champions League. The team vet consists in the vet delegate, in the vet service manager, and the three-team vet. The responsibility of the team vet is the welfare of the horses during the competition. Our work starts when the stable open, and it consists in the organize the entry system for the FI or SAP. During the class, our team stay around the main arena, and it's ready just in case there is a emergency or accident. My job can be quite stressful because I'm treating the best horses in the world. I love my job in the global because I work with the horses and I can meet a lot of people, vet, rider, groom. It's a great atmosphere.
Excellent work being done by Francesco Tosto every single weekend in the Global Champions League. Just how much it takes to make sure that every single one of those athletes, both the riders and the horses, are in tip-top shape. Peder Fredriksson, Uliano Vizzani, the course designer, one of the big championship stories in Peder Fredriksson. They both seem ready. We are ready. I hope that you are ready for the opening round of Global Champions League, live from Governor's Island, live from New York this weekend. So stay with us here on GCTV. Madrid in motion. Michael van der Vleuten and Angelica Augustin Zanotelli will be the first two riders out the gate. GCL Round 1 live from Governor's Island starts next.